moving into the fantasy LCS picks for last week. So based on last week, so interesting enough, Echo Fox's team has been scattering and dropping out of the top 10 as everybody else moves up and takes those spots.
Yep.
See a lot of different people, taking these things. Yeah. So who the fuck doesn't have Cody's son in our league? Why doesn't...
Nobody has Cody's son.
Huh. Damn. Or Phoenix.
Nobody has Phoenix either.
Huh. They're probably going to go get it right now. If they're watching stream, they're going to go drop and pick up. But that's okay.
I take it back, actually. I have Phoenix.
Did you just pick them? Oh, you just... I did clip this on Sunday, so anything could have happened yesterday. I don't know. But, interesting
enough... What'd you say? Nobody has Cody's son? Guess who has Cody's son?
All right.
Here's the thing: it's hard to play them over certain people, though, right?
That's the thing, yeah, because you don't know if they're gonna do that well against who they're playing this week, because
Yeah, exactly.
Their overall
I usually
averages.
look at that. Like, I picked up Apollo when they started going up, but I also picked up the team Echo Fox instead of Misfits, and I think Misfits is better last week. And I picked up Adrian also, and Adrian did decent. I also picked up Kabi, but it's like, so my mid laner is Bjergsen. Do I play Phoenix over Bjergsen? Phoenix or Echo Fox does have 2
relatively easy games.
Should be.
Yeah, relatively.
But you never
think
know.
they'd be easy games. Yeah, relatively easy games. But looking at this, we used to see all 5 players of Echo Fox in this top 5. They were the top 5, but they've dropped off. The only one that we've seen drop off here is Adrian, though. You can still see Dardoch sitting at 10th, and you got Huni and Phoenix and Altex sitting at the top as well.
Yeah.
But
so the
Reckless
280 carries I
jumped
have
up.
is I have Kabi and Apollo. Do I play Cody Sun over them? Cody Sun has 2 very difficult games this week in Team Liquid and TSM.
I'd play Kabi. Shit.
So do you
Kabi has some pretty easy
Cody
games.
Sun?
UL has some nice games this week.
Yeah, exactly. They got Rockhat and G2. Well,
G2
they're 8-4 and 5-7. They're both going to be decent games, but like I said, 100 Thieves, Liquid and TSM could both beat them, and they're both going to be rough games. But does that mean they're rough games? Sometimes means more kills. If it was a 2 out of 3 series, then it changes completely. Then you really want Cody Sun in there, because then a 2 out of 3,
one of those games is going to be blow off.
He's going to pop off. Yeah, he's going to be able to pop off at least once. But in a single game, it's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
It's hard to pick.
So.
But,
on the split, though, some things have changed. High is actually maintaining, and Anda are maintaining their spot at the top of their respective pools, with High with the most deaths and the most kill participation, and then Anda sticking top with that vision score. But that might drop now with 8.4 coming in, losing his green smite, which I've seen him take, I think, almost every game. So.
Yeah, it'll probably drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Highest KD isn't surprising, though. All mid laners.
Forbidden though,
Bjergsen,
though,
Phoenix,
a lot of people thought,
there.
it's at the beginning of the split, it was Bjergsen, Jensen was the talk, and then you could possibly see Phoenix, Power of Evil was going to be in there. Forbidden was fourth,
that's just KDA
fifth.
though. It's a lot of mid laners that you see that even if their team's losing, they still only have 1 or 0 deaths.
But that
you
brings
still see them stay in there really well.
But that brings up one of my questions though, is that Forbidden was seen as kind of like that mid-tier, 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th mid laner in the league, where I see his play, his team is winning off of him, or he's consistently doing well even if his team loses. And you can see that with Clutch, how they've made this jump to the top of the standings, and I've seen a lot of it off of Forbidden's back. And Power of Evil, they said he was better than Forbidden coming from the EU, but has not had the same effect on Optic. Is it just the team that's around him? Because Envy was last place last split. You're telling me that Forbidden carried them, and then Power of Evil, who's supposed to be better, can't carry his team?
I don't know. I'm thinking if you put Power of Evil in Forbidden's spot, he does really well also, honestly.
It might just be, that Clutch
very
team. Yeah, the team. Yeah,
the team that Power of Evil has around him are a lot of
you got Dokler, Zig, and then you got Lyra, and who's the bottom?
Well, no, that's not Power of Evil's people.
Oh no, and I'm saying it's not Power. No wait,
Yeah, Power of Evil had Zig, so that was
Zig or
one
Dokla?
that's
Zig or
one
Dokla?
person that was hard to carry early on, is what I'm
Acadian.
saying.
Acadian's not known to be the best jungler.
And Acadian's new also, and then who's Optic's bot lane? Arrow and
Optic spot lane is Arrow and Lemon. Also, two people who are known not to be the runner.
Exactly.
They don't run the game.
So it's very likely PoE what he has around him. If you put him in a Vivid spot, they'd probably be doing just as well.
Okay. Which I think, this brings me to the power rankings. If I was to fix this, which I did not for this week because it is top 10, I would put Dokla above Zig. Mainly because
here's the thing. The question is, do you put Dokla above anybody else?
No. God, no.
Yeah, haven't seen him enough to be able to put him above anybody.
Last week I watched both of his games. So I watched on Friday. I watched the YouTube version of the Academy League's game because they don't stream the Thursday night game, but they put it on YouTube afterwards. And then I watched the actual live stream version of his game on Friday night, and I was like, man, this guy's actually really good. But then Academy's dumpstering on some pretty shitty top laners, or not too.
Yeah.
But then he comes into, which is weird because like he had to play 4 games this weekend. So he comes into the actual LCS professional scene on Saturday, and he also plays on Sunday. A lot of people thought they were going to switch back to Zig, but they did good. I think they did really good with him. And I think they won that first game, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won their first game with him, which was better than what they were doing with Zig sometimes. But the biggest thing I saw was like Zig would go even, or he would fall just a little bit behind, or sometimes
and then they had to play TSM, and he had to go against Hanser, which more difficult.
Yeah, more difficult. His play where he jumped over the golem pit to find 3 of them, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that's just a rookie mistake."
There's people here. Yeah,
there's people here.
Happens. But... Yeah, I didn't change any of my power rankings either. I'd probably move Darshan down and Flame up is about it. But yeah, I don't see anybody else changing where they are. Phoenix, I'd probably move up some also. That's about the only changes I'd make to my power rankings list here.
Yeah, so that's the hardest part right now for the Fantasy LCS is the aspect of all of the roster moves, like with Dokla, Stunt, and let's say you got Shrimp, you got Keen, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I did the DraftKings.
You don't know who to pick.
I didn't pick Zig at all because he was awful. So any lineup that I made with Optic to win, I just didn't pick Zig at all, and then he didn't play. So
did they have Dokla on DraftKings this week?
I don't think they had Dokla on there. Sometimes they just don't even have the person on there. I think the first time JJ played, he wasn't on there. Just Stunt was. But you want the people who don't really have a backup and who've been playing well anyway. Like that's why I didn't pick Zig, because sometimes you'll make a lineup because it was Optic against Golden Guardians, right? So you make a lineup where Optic wins, right? Because it's a 2-game one. It was Optic against Golden Guardians and TL versus FlyQuest. So you make an Optic Team Liquid lineup. So you pick Team Liquid's top lane because Zig isn't going to do crap anyway, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then you have to pick the rest of Optic because, well, they're not going to switch out anybody else really. Everybody else has been playing decently at least. So when you make that 2-game lineup, you just don't pick the specific weak people, and you want Impact in there instead of Zig.
Yeah.
And then Power of Evil over, because he costs less, over TL's mid, and just stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. I worked on a couple for DraftKings this week as well, and it's hard to kind of, because you want to get these power picks that you know are going to get a lot of points, but of course DraftKings still is in that salary cap, and you have to start working with, which is where I see like the dark yellow or the light green part of your field as well as mine. I think it's that area, although they might not be in the same spots, is pretty similar.
Yeah, it always depends on how many
and just grabbing those people
about who else is against who.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we might have Jensen as the best, but when
Jensen's against Bjergsen or Pobelter, you can kind of see an even or like a
if Echo Fox is against them or something like that, then Jensen's going to be a lot cheaper because that game's going to be a lot closer. They always make the most expensive people, like if it's Golden Guardians against C9. Like this week, Golden Guardians against C9, Jensen's going to be the most expensive, High's going to be the cheapest. And you don't really want to make a lineup with all the cheapest people because Golden Guardians isn't going to beat C9, you know? But like I said, upset's very possible. But sometimes even when those upsets happen, they don't get a lot of kills in those games that they win.
Yeah.
And you would have been better off picking TSM against 100 Thieves because it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep. So, hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content, we'll be back for more next week.